How good's that?
Oh, there's fish on my popper. Oh, come on. I've got a big popper.
Look at this.
This thing's going.
This thing is not giving me.
Oh! How was that for a jump? How good was that? Oh, there he is! Oh, he's going nuts! Oh, he's just going insane! Oh, if I can tell we're getting it on because my cameraman is smiling like a cat that swallowed the canary. Oh, there he is again! There must be a shark behind him, I reckon.
There's got to be, mate. He's really
He's
on the
going,
jump.
look at him coming here to whoa!
He's going to get shark. They're on him.
I'm going to try and get him in quick. I want to save him. Save him from the sharks.
Don't bring those sharks anymore.
Oh,
it's too late.
No!
It's too late.
No! Now what? Oh, his head's still there. His head's still there. Get me back! Get
Don't
me
bring them
back!
near mine.
Oi, fellas! Now one of two things is happening. He's either eating my queenfish.
Oh no, they're going for mine. Look at the sharks. I'm going to back this off.
Oh, they're doing. Look at this, the queenie. Look at the sharks fighting over it.
Oh no.
They still go. Look, two of them have it one each end, and they're fighting over it.
No, they're going to go my GT in a minute, I'm sure.
Look, it's pretty average today's fishing. I have to apologise. Next week, we're going to do some really exciting stuff and catch big fish, lots of them, and they're going to jump all over the place like this. Oh, I'm hooked. There's a shark! There's a shark!
Well, they've ripped my GT alone so far.
Hey, I'm good to you. Look, I know you've struggled today with the fish.
I've struggled, mate. I've really
So
struggled.
what I did, I only hooked my fish so I can get the sharks away from your fish.
Well, you know, I've got a quality fish.
Because a good friend will do that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to back up on your quality fish.
If you can, mate, because he's giving me a bit of a hard time, this
I
one.
tell you what.
He got into that current.
Those two sharks kissing, they had one end of my queenie each going, one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Hold on.
He's just going to take...
This fish. Oh, the sharks are here. No. Oh! They've got him. I can see his head. Guess what, Paul?
Gone.
There he is.
Well, let me just say, wow-wee. That's with a capital W for wow, a capital W for wee, and put a capital W on Worstling as well. This has to be one of the hottest fishing sessions I've ever had, ever.
Is that right, mate?
Mate, we didn't get out until like 2 o'clock. The sun's just going down 4 hours. You've seen it all. And I've seen things today. That's the thing about fishing that I've never seen before in my life. This is one of the greatest things you've ever done in your life. Let me say it again. Ring Angling Adventures, ring Top End Expeditions, get your backside to the Northern Territory because this goes down as one of my top 10 life experiences, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Quality.
Fantastic.
And there's still oysters to come.
Oysters to come. And dessert, we didn't tell you about dessert.
Oh, I'm so excited. Paul, that was seriously one of the hottest fishing sessions I've ever had.
You enjoyed yourself, mate, didn't you?
Well, I don't know if the people at home will be able to see how much fun I was having. I think it might have come through. It actually looked like I had 48 Red Bulls. It was so good. That was just insane.
I think there was only 42, something like that.
That was just insane. Fluky, grab my hand, mate.
How'd you go, boys?
Well, it was fairly average, to be quite dishonest. Let me just say this. What a day, you saw it. See this Plano box? When I went out, I couldn't close it properly. We've come in, that's all that's left. I seriously could not get the lid down on this. One cotton cordell is all that's left, and you know what? It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Oh my God, there is a massive shark in the background there. Can you see it?
That's a lemon shark.
There is bait everywhere. Look at that. It is just cruising through the bait. I'm getting off this boat because today cannot get any better. And the only way it will is if a shark jumps out of the water and eats me, and I don't want that to happen. That is seriously the only way today could get better for the viewers anyway. Paulie, go enjoy the oysters, mate. Get off.
I shall, mate, I shall. Thanks very much.
For any information about iFish with Tackle World, check out our website, where you'll also find information and dates on upcoming episodes, as well as details on all our program segments. Log on to ifishtv.com.au.
A little bit of shark feeding on a Riga Bay too. This little guy's swimming right under me at the moment. He's come up to take this beautiful queenfish frame. Isn't nature just an amazing thing? Look at him out there. Here he comes. Here he comes. Look at that. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, there's a bronzy.
Is that a whale? I hope not.
Here we go, here we go.
Can I have a feed, mate? Look at that, it's a whaler shark. Oh, I'm glad I got my hand out of the water. Let him suck it down, let him suck it down. Look at that. They're tough, aren't they?
They're tough.
How cool is that?
How cool is that?
That's a big lemon shark. There's a bronze whaler just below it about
Look,
bang! There's another little whaler there. And now they're doing the double death roll. Oh! 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 Runaway Bay on the Gold Coast. The best day for 6 months, they're telling me. A 51-foot Riviera called the Phantom. It's going to be a fantastic day. Come along for the ride. This is going to be special. Good morning, boys.
Morning, Paul.
Good to see you all.
Morning, Paul.
Let's go catch a fish.
Can I get them?
Now, Dougie, before we go trolling for pelagics, you've got some other unique contraption to show us, and there is some method to your madness, I believe.
Yeah, a lot of madness. What we're doing today, Paul, we're going to have a bottom drop for half hooker and blue-eye cod.
Yep.
And we're using an electric reel. It's got 1,500 metres, a 200-pound line on here, braided line. Short bent butt Shimano 37-kilo rod, stand-up stick. And we've got 4 hooks around 16.0 circle hooks, all with Lumo gear on.
400-pound leader.
About 400-pound leader. And some address hooks as well.
And I believe you dropped this on your toe last night, Dougie.
I did, right there.
So Dougie,
that's why it's bed.
so Dougie was walking to the car like this morning, and I couldn't understand why. That's the reason why. What does that sinker weigh?
4 kilos.
4 kilos. We're going to drop to what depth?
It's about 500 metres.
500 metres. Let's bait this baby up. We've got all the apparatus we need, and the theory is that we get some beautiful eating fish, and I just can't wait because I love this sort of fishing.
I don't know how soon it takes 8 minutes to get down, so we've got plenty of time to talk.
All good. Let's get the bait on, then we can do some more talking.
Okay.
Bring it on. This is our rig. Ian Walker, our skipper, has positioned the Phantom on our first GPS mark. We're going to drift over the seamount and find a fish on the way. I'm actually going to use my hanky just to take a bit of the abrasion off this sinker. As I lower it down, very important the rig goes down slowly. That there is 100-pound knit line to the swivel, so if our sinker happens to get stuck, at least we won't lose the whole rig. There's our first hook. Second. Third, and number 4. Very, very gently put that down. Make sure it is nice and straight, because it's going to be down there for a while. We want to make sure it is perfect. Back the drag off, and down she goes. I believe it takes about 8 minutes to get to the bottom, so I'll sit here for 8 minutes and watch the waves roll by. See you shortly. Just looking at the counter, 315 metres down as we speak, about 285 to go. If I was wearing a watch, I'd be timing it. I think it's been a long time. Look at that, we've got a bite already. We're down 536 metres. Locked it into gear, and straight away you can see the tip going bounce, bounce, bounce. And the thing I love about this is I went to the gym before I come up here. There's a gym just near Dougie's Tackle World store, and I did some good workout on my thumb, so I can just go like this and bring the fish up from the bottom. Look at that.
Beautiful, mate.
I have actually rod and reeled fish in 600 metres of water, and let me just say, it is not a pretty sight. It hurts. So the beauty of these electric reels and a big battery is that you can just go like this and bring your fish to the top. Now, Doug.
I've got a fish on having over there.
Look, Doug, you've got to remember, mate, it's not all about you.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Can you just explain the benefits of an electric fishing reel? I know Shimano do a reel. It's called a...
The Shimano do the 1000 series in the Dendaroo, that's right.
hard to pronounce but easy to use.
Yes.
And what is the benefit of these reels apart from the fact that we can be lazy? How do they all work?
Okay, this particular one's a bigger commercial style, called the Epic 9SP. It's fully automatic, so...
I really don't.
As you can see, no heads. You just set it at the bottom, whatever depth it might be, wind it up a couple of turns so it's got weight on there. As soon as the fish hook up, you just do the manual button as Paul's doing the hard work before, or do the easy work, which is just the auto button. It'll come up. It's like an elevator, so as soon as it comes up and gets to the surface, it slows down, and then you just gaff the fish in. You have to pull them in the boat, though. That's the hard part.
Oh, I'm not doing that. Have you got an automatic gaff on this boat? And you've actually got a throttle there as well for more speed.
You'll hear it pick up speed if I turn it faster. You hear that? But because we don't rip the hooks out of the mouth, we'll just keep it steady coming. And also, it has a lot of functions, like if the fish pulls hard, it'll actually stop and let the fish take the weight. If the fish swims fast, it goes really fast automatically itself as well.
There's only one thing this reel doesn't actually do, and that's make the cup of tea we're going to have while we're waiting. So Doug, get in the kitchen and make me a cup of tea.
Again.
This is crazy. I just don't think I can handle the pressure.
Is that really loaded up?
Just 100 metres to go till bottom fish heaven. I think we've got time for a well-earned break. There'll be more IFISH, in fact a few more fish, after this. When you get the chance to do this sort of fishing, don't feel bad about taking one fish for each person on board. They taste fantastic, and we'll definitely be taking one home each if we get the chance today. The amazing thing about this fishery is that it is almost untouched. The Gold Coast is only about 25 nautical miles away. There's not another boat as far as you can see, and even if there was, they would only be fishing the upper layers of this water. The water can be 1,000 metres deep. They're fishing the top 2 metres. We are fishing on the bottom, and there's a chance that these fish have never, ever seen a baited hook before. As you saw, it took about 2 seconds for it to work. This is a form of fishing that's really going to take off around Australia over the next decade. That's it, I think.
We've got the lead on.
Yep. That's it. Well done, Dougie. We had a cross-line situation there. You right, mate?
Not quite.
And even though we're fishing with incredibly thick braid, if you've got 2 braids under pressure, no matter how good they are, and they cut, all over lose a whole lot. So cool heads, and you get your fish up. We've got 17 metres to go here, but look at 12. We should be seeing fish shortly. The countdown is on. And the reel... There they are. Now, what have we got here? Oh, blue eye.
Bigger than 2 kilo.
Yummy. They are 2 of the best eating fish in the sea, Douglas.
Yes, they are.
Love your work. They are beautiful fish. Oh, the weight. I'll just lift this up so you can grab them. Oh, you want to come through with that little hand gaff, and we'll just gaff them in the gob. Love your work. Got that circle hook right in the corner of the jaw there too. That's a wonderful thing about circles. I've got this one if you want to let him go. Just look at that fish. Oh. That is a blue-eye Trevalla, and seriously, up there with the greatest eating fish in the ocean. I know we get excited and say that a bit, but Dougie, I reckon I'm just going to roll this in breadcrumbs and eat it whole. What do you reckon?
I know our wives will be happy.
And there is another fish. That's the beauty of this sort of fishing too. You use a 4-hook rig. In Tasmania at times I've used a 10-hook rig, which is legal, and caught 6 of these guys at the same time. That is just a cracker fish. Isn't that awesome? I tell you what, when you taste them, there's the other one. You'll know what it's all about. Dougie, I think your blue eye spot's pretty good, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
And you know the bad news? we've still got some more on that rod. We need to get them in as well.
Let's go do it.
So let's put these fish away for a second. We're going to keep them. You can't release these fish because they've come up from great depths, but you'd never let these go because they just taste too good. That is quality with a capital B for blue eye.
Well, I wonder how Duggo's going out there, Paul.
Yeah, I'm not particularly too stressed. Tea's good in here.
Mate, nice and comfortable.
Dougie, I see the colour.
Mate,
And not just your face red, there's a fish as well.
mate, we like catching. They're actually a bit bigger size than yours, mate.
Love your work.
This size is a bit bigger.
Nice fish.
Nice
Holy
fish.
stuff. This is the Dougie size. That is one big fish, Dougie. If you can just hold the leader, I know you've done so much work already. I think it's got me. I think it's got me. Have a look at the size of that fish. Dougie, it's got a guts on it bigger than mine. Now,
as big as mine.
I'm not picking it up because I couldn't. You show us your biceps, Dougie. I'll lift it this way. I'll support the front end. How big is that? Dougie, what does it weigh?
I'd say 12 to 15 kilos.
And how big do you catch these things?
30 kilos is the biggest we've caught eating.
I reckon we just lay it on the back there for a second. If I can get a pair of pliers, I'll get that hook out of his gob.
Yep.
That has got to be one of the most incredible fish you'll ever see. They've got a massive eye, these bottom-dwelling fish. I'll leave that with you, mate. Actually, no, you've got the hard bit there. You see that circle hook? Always in the corner of the jaw, comes straight out. And it is so important to use circle hooks when you're fishing for big bottom fish. Watch that gaff, Dougie.
Yes.
The reason for it is they start to float when they get about 80 metres from the boat, Doug.
That's right, yes.
And if they float up and the normal hook was sitting there with no pressure, just fall out. Because with the circle, it's hooked nice and clean, the rig's ready to go again. I can't even concentrate because I'm so excited about eating this.
Amazing.
It's got a head like yours, Doug.
It has. It's-
Only the fish is more attractive. Actually, I've got a joke out there, if anyone wants to use this on their friends. What's big, fat and slimy and looks like a cod? I couldn't be that cruel to you, Doug. Blue-eye Trevalla, but sometimes called cod. What's the deal?
Blue-eye cod. Well, the eye doesn't look that, looks black to me, but I think in the light, you get the sunlight onto it, it'll actually be a bit blue colour.
Now, just a word of warning for people who love to eat fish.
Oh, there we go.
It's going blue. I love to eat fish. Every time I go to a pub, go for dinner with friends, I always look at the fish of the day. If you go to a pub anywhere in Australia, but particularly down around Tasmania, and you see Trevalla on the menu and you can get it grilled, eat it above everything else. Always have Trevalla, but beware.
That's this baby.
If you see Trevally, don't touch it. Not a very nice fish at all. So look for Trevalla, ending in an A, and you will enjoy some of the best eating, if I can lift this up, you will ever see. Just dropping the jig to the bottom, and jigging's all about moving the jig quickly. When the fin stops coming off the reel, it means we've hit the bottom. There it is, we're there. And it's just a matter of moving that jig erratically, high speed, doesn't matter, just get it moving in the water. Bit of high speed stuff. And when they hit, it's like a Mack truck because you're going that way, they're going that way. No fish that time, but my radar is still looking pretty purple. Oh, yeah. Holy snapping, that's 80-pound braid. I've gone for the big gun and I'm locking up because we're gonna get sharked. Come to me. I thought I'd get serious, and this guy still smoked me on 80. I'm just trying to get him up before the sharks get him. Here he is. That was quick. What have we got there? Oh, look at that. Aren't they cracker fish? Oh, I have just got the drag so tightly wound. He can't go anywhere, but he's still giving you a serious workout. There he is. They are such tough fish, and even on 80, with a T-curve 200 jig and a Stella 20,000, it's like a title fight. Whack, whack, whack. And there he is. Oh, it's a dancing Spaniard. Isn't that just a beauty? And look at that raider right in the corner of the jaw. Just gonna lift it up. Now, I'm being very wary of those teeth. That is a beautiful narrow-barred Spanish mackerel. And they've got some weight too. It's not to actually pick them up that you feel the weight. And this guy, look at that for a beautiful fish. And that tail, I always struggle to comprehend how a fish with a tail that shape can propel so much speed. It must just be the absolute most amazing propeller you've ever seen. Well, this fish we're actually going to keep for a feed for 2 reasons. 1, they taste just sensational in the fry pan. And 2, a shark had a crack at this. I don't know if you saw him, but I certainly did. He was bleeding a little bit, so he's not well. And how good is that raider? Right in the corner of the jaw, single hook, bit of single strand wire, and it's Spanish mackerel for dinner.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you've really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See you down at Tackle World today.
Look at that, a beautiful Spaniard, I think. Actually, I think the safest thing to do here might be to go overboard. I've had enough. I got sharked. I'm jumping in. Okay. I had the fish, but no one had me. And just watch your toes, boys. Here we go. It's coming over. On the count of 3. Oh, it's a flying mackerel. Pluky, I must say, mate, I love your work. What do you think of that? Welcome to Go. Look at that. These guys have the sharpest teeth. They are like razors, and quite often you'll bring your lure and you'll actually see there's a diamond cross, just like that. That is a serious fish, mate. Quality with a capital S, the Spaniard. Shark! Oh! There's a shark. There is a shark up this. Oh, look at that! There's 2 sharks. Oh! Oh! I give it a 9.9. That was quality. Let me get him away from those sharks. I'll come around the back there, Gary. You take a step back for me. How good was that? Watch your teeth. Watch your teeth. Look at that. And the sharks are down there circling. Dead lost. It's our fish. Oh! That is insane. Gary, he almost jumped straight in the boat. Come back here, don't run away. How cool was that?
Oh, that was pretty major.
And I think our cameraman, Noel, Michael, I keep getting it wrong. I think he actually got that. It come out and just went, oh, bang. There she is. Pliers down, I'll do the damage for you, mate. We'll spear this fish back in, and away she goes. Come on, how cool was that? Oh, that was so cool. I nearly, oh, there he is. Look at, oh, there he goes. Out, oh, that was so cool. Oh, look at him jump, that is just gold. I tell you what we're gonna do, Trevor, if we can we do a right-hand turn and chase this fish? I want to get him in quickly before the sharks get him. He's just using his side to hold me in that current. He's a nice fish, mate. I just can't lift him. I physically cannot lift him. That last, here he is. Leave my fish alone, sharks. Leave him alone. Oh. And there is my fish. Okay, you got him, Paulie? That is just, has to be, mate. That just has to be about as good as fishing gets. Look at that in the sun. Cotton Cordell pencil popper. My first job ever was selling fishing tackle in the Kmart sporting goods section in Cranbourne. I was fortunate, I got a job in Tackle World down the road, and I remember when I worked there, I actually dreamed of one day taking a cotton cordell pencil popper to a great part of the world and catching a beautiful fish. Well, today, that dream is fulfilled. They were $12.99 back then. I used to hang on the wall in a black box. They haven't gone up much either. Paulie,
he's beautiful.
can I hold that beautiful
You can
fish?
hold him, mate. Just watch its belly spikes there.
Absolutely. That is big for a queenie, and it weighs, because most queenfish, they're actually called skinnies in some part of the world. Let's just say that I'd never be called a skinny. Look at the spots down the side, also known as leather skin, and that beautiful sheen. I tell you what, only Mother Nature could create something that looks as good as that. And how's the gob?
Today's boating tip is brought to you by boatsales.com.au.
When you're travelling offshore in your own trailer boat, and when I say offshore, I mean in the ocean, there's a very simple rule to remember as to how much fuel to take with you, because you don't want to get stuck out here. Work on 1 litre of fuel per litre of horsepower in your boat. So I've got twin 115 E-Tex, 230 horsepower, and I'm carrying 240 litres. The other thing, keep a constant eye on the gauge and make sure if you've got halfway to go back in, you've got at least half a tank of fuel. This fishing and boating tip was brought to you by boatsales.com.au. The Sunshine Coast, Woolaba. I think not. How good is this? It's turned it on once again. Today we're fishing with Steve Dingle from Tackle World Kawana aboard a 609 Stavy Craft South Queensland Charter Services. Our skipper for the day is Smithy, and he's promised me fish. He better deliver or there's going to be trouble. The beauty of coming out in a fishing charter is you've got a guy like Smithy who lives and breathes fish. He knows where the fish are, he knows what baits they're going to go on, he even knows what time they're going to bite. So if you're on holidays, go into the foyer of your hotel, pick up a card and find a good operator. That's exactly how I found Smithy when I was here at a Tackle World conference a few months ago. We're about 5 kilometres off Mooloolaba, 25 metres deep, and there are massive ships everywhere. This is a pilot boarding area, and what they do, they actually take a pilot out of Brisbane, they'll come and put him on the boat, and because he knows the area, he'll drive that big boat into his home port. Very clever. Most good days fishing start with bait collection. Now you can pop into a tackle shop and get a block of pillies or muleys if you're in the west, pippies or cockles, it doesn't matter. But if you're on the salt and briny, you can catch your own bait. Today we're chasing mackerel, slimy mackerel, yakkers and all those little fish that big fish like to eat. We're using the sounder to locate them. We can see them rippling on the surface. The boys are starting to catch a few. It's all coming together. This reef structure here today covers acres and acres of area, and there won't be fish all over it. You've got to drag the fish into where you're fishing and make your own structure, so to speak. So, Burley, just threw a piece at that cameraman, he'll be happy about that. Some cut pilchard. Just start throwing some cut pilchard in the water. Very oily fish, and as they drift down towards the bottom, the oil will bubble up and we'll start to create some activity. Activity creates activity. Get the fish zoned in on our baits. The wind's picked up just a little bit, a small zephyr. The dolphins are still playing out the back, and I've got another bait going to the bottom. The fishing at the moment is hot. We believe Smithy has put us right on the wreck using his GPS and his sounder. He's bridled up, and this bait is just going down. Now the trick is, when you feel the big ball sinker hit the bottom, wind it up about 5 metres, because if you go to the bottom, as I discovered earlier, you tend to get a lot of grinners and what we call mother-in-law fish. So I'm just waiting for the line to stop free spooling. You'll actually see when it stops, it's still running down. It should just go bang there. Oh no, it's still going, because I want to hit the bottom and then bring it up a little bit just to make sure I'm right in the zone. It's a little bit deeper than I expected. Oh, a little twing there. The bait's a bit excited. There we are. Nearly. Stop. Over. Out. The reason it's not stopping is because there's a fish on there. Look at that. Yes! Come on. I've got to get him away from that reef. Oh. Now, it might not be the most attractive thing you've seen all day, but if I don't get him off that reef, come on, we're not going to see this fish. And I think I've managed to do it. How good is that, having fishing? You can just drop down and have a fish there ready to eat your bait. This one's going to be a little green. Oh, beautiful precision. Oh. What a cracker fish. Just lay it down on the floor there. I've put that in the free spool. I am extremely excited. I'm just going to cut that line because it swallowed that owner hook. Oh no, it's just there actually. I might be able to get it. You don't want to go down too deep to try and get a hook out, but I can see it. So I'm going to go in, give it a bit of a turn. Here we go. And it's out. Best result for the fish. No hook. Thank you, Smithy. Love your work. Look at those dorsal spines too. They're the ones that nearly bit me just before. Right up top there, just behind the scon. And they would hurt if they got stuck in your foot. I'll just run this little beauty by the camera so you can have a good look. How's that stripe? I tell you what, when you're hanging this way, you can't beat a fish that breaks for Collingwood. Go Pies. This one's going back. There you go, mate. You are a beautiful fish. I love your work. And just said, what did I say, Jace? Oh,
you said it's time, so we'll just follow this fish, mate.
Oh, this is a big fish, mate.
If it goes around.
Oh, it has the size of the tail on it. Oh, my heart is in my mouth. My heart is in my mouth. We have cast about 3,000 times.
Come around to the right, mate, and I'll get on this side so I can drive the electric.
And you called it, what a fishing guide. He said, Paul, this is insane bay. The fishing in here is insane. Oh, just listen to that 50-pound fins rip off the cronarch. Come on. Oh, it's a big fish. Get away from there. Oh, get away from there. Oh. Got to put the hard yards on. I don't want to pull those hooks. I've got two owner ST around that tree.
Free spool if you need to, mate.
I've just free spooled him.
Yep, let him go.
He's around that tree. I'm free spooling at the moment.
Yep.
And he's come away from the tree. You will not cut a tree down with 50-pound braid. So my guide just, look at him go. Jay said, put the reel in free spool. You cannot imagine how my heart is pounding. And what a call of Jace, just get into Insane Bay and keep casting that little green bomber. Come on, come out of the timber, be kind to us. Oh, I just can't hold him out, I don't want to put too much on him.
That's all right, mate. You're doing
oh, look at him go. Come on, mate. Just let us have a look at you. There he is. Just look at the tail displacement from this fish. When he wants to go, he goes. And this is when big fish are lost. You've just got to hope. I've got 50-pound braid, I've got a 100-pound leader. Look at that bomber.
Just leave his head up.
I just don't want to pull too hard.
It's all right, mate. It's all right.
There he goes.
Just keep that head up, mate, so if we get a shot at it.
I'm on my knees because I think I'm praying. People wouldn't believe you catch such a big fish on such a small rod. Deliver the Barra. Yes. Mate, I'll move your rod. Jason Wilhelm? I can't even say your name. Jason.
You're not the first.
Wilhelm. Will drive a boat. Will be at the helm. If that's Barramundi fishing in impoundment, I have to say it's one of the greatest things I've ever done.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
Those owner ST66s, how important have you found them in your guiding, mate?
Apart from the stiffy range of lures, all lures that you purchase off the shelf need to be upgraded, and the only hook to use is the owner STN66. It's a 4X hook, but these things are like kryptonite, and you can bend them, but I tell you what,
it's tough.
For fish like this, that's the only hook to
We'll drop
lose.
that lure. I'm going to actually go through the lure in a minute and explain it. Now, We can just pull this fish out, put him on the brag mat. I'll get the head end. Oh, come on, mate.
Just support
Sorry.
that body a bit.
Yeah, we've got the body support there. Okay, we've got the lip here.
Okay, so you have got 101 centimetres.
It's only a metre long.
Just a metre long, mate.
Well, when I say only, a metre barra is the pinnacle of barra fish. It's like a 20-pound snap or a 1,000-pound marlin. Hats off to this fish, Jason. Hats off to you. How big is this fish in kilos, you reckon?
That's about a 15 kilo barra. It's quite a small barra, as in build for a Monduran barra. Normally they're a lot thicker, but this is probably 4 years old and about 15 kilos.
From 55 mil to 1 metre long and over 30 pound in just 4 years, this joint must be chockers.
It's full of bait.
Right, I'm gonna get him back. We might just move that mat so I don't slip.
Sure.
And you like to release all big fish?
Yeah, I like to release all the fish, mate. They're no good to eat, so it's nice to put these fish back and let someone else catch them.
And back she goes. Girl, oh, you've served me well. And you are ready to go. She's biting my thumb, so I know she's ready to go. And they're the images we saw before. See that? They can feed by looking up, and that's what we saw under our lures earlier. And you can imagine how scary it is when that is having a look at your lure. A big bucket mouth barra from Monduran. You big swamp hound, you. Imagine that coming under your lure. Look, that's what we were seeing earlier. Look at that. The eyes come up, the back of the head, the bow wave. They are cracker fish. And girl, just give me an indication you want to swim. She's biting my thumb. Oh, you bit my thumb. Good girl, away you go. Off you go, girl. Swim, swim. There she goes. Look, slowly away.